Hey guys, so before we get into the video, I want to quickly apologise. The music in the background is a little bit louder than I had anticipated, and also there are points in the video where you can hear my child playing in the background. I am sorry for that, but that is the reality of being a parent. They're always there. What can you do? Without further ado, here is the video. Okay, so today I'm playing Ark Survival Evolved. I've actually started it already, but on this one I'm just kind of going to go through all of these slider settings that you see at the beginning. These ones not so much, they're just tick boxes. I've turned the difficulty down because when I first started I died a lot. It's pretty much impossible for me to actually get set up at all because I kept getting killed. So the reason I want to go through these sliders is because when you first see them they can be a little bit confusing. Obviously they don't actually tell you what you're doing when you start moving them, and sometimes you can accidentally make the game unplayable. Because when I first started, I accidentally made it impossible to actually tame the dinosaurs, which I didn't know until I looked it up later. So I'm going to go through some of these quickly. Obviously dino damage is just how much damage they do when they attack. I've turned that right down because, quite frankly, I want it to be easy enough for me to get set up and then I can change it later. Player damage I've turned right up because I can't be fucked taking ages to do things. Structure damage I've turned up. That doesn't apply to me yet, but that's obviously for if you get spiked walls and things like that. And you can use those to defend your base and things like that. Player resistance, I've turned that right down. Now this one is confusing because you would think that the higher the resistance, that you'd have higher resistance to the elements and to being attacked, and that it would make you stronger. Weirdly enough, that's not the case. Having it at the bottom makes you stronger. So I'm actually going to turn that down slightly because I keep one-hit killing things, which is annoying when I want to tame it. I accidentally killed my Pteranodon, I was very upset. The harvesting damage, I've turned that up because if you have that set low, you're going to be standing there for about 10 minutes punching a tree just to get one piece of thatch. It's going to be almost impossible to play like that. Harvest amount, again I've turned right up because gathering everything is a time-consuming process and I'm impatient. Dino character food drain, I have to turn up because if you actually have that at the bottom, it's impossible to tame them because obviously the taming works on the basis that you give them food that they then have to eat in order to then be tamed. And if you have that set down low, they will not eat and they will not tame, which I didn't know when I first started, but I learned the hard way. And so yeah, so I've got that set up quite high because the higher that is, the easier it is to tame the dinosaurs. Okay, now let's go to world settings. Nighttime speed is right up so that nighttime passes in literally the blink of an eye. I don't have to sit around waiting for it to become light again. Spoiling time I've turned right down. I actually need to turn that up slightly because I need some spoiled meat for trank arrows. So yeah, have it set to the lower end but not right at the bottom because you do need things to spoil sometimes. Decomposition time I've turned up because I want it to take longer for things to decompose. For example, if I die and I want to go back and get my stuff, it needs to be there for a while so that I can actually get back to it because it's a big old map, and if I go exploring somewhere and I die, I'm going to have time to get back there and make sure that I don't die again. Harvest health, this is an important one. If you have that turned up, you cannot harvest things because the stuff that you're trying to harvest is too strong. So have that turned down, makes harvesting go a lot quicker and a lot easier, and it stops you from breaking all of the weapons that you've spent ages making. I've turned that right down because I want the respawns to happen fairly quickly. I don't know if I've done it the right way, I haven't managed to figure that out yet, but that was just how I assumed it would be. And I've messed about with some of the stats so that once you've tamed a dinosaur, it will get stronger and healthier a lot quicker because obviously I've got some of them set quite low when they're untamed, so that just means I'm making up for the lack of health and stamina that they have when I get them. And I've changed how much my player increases per level just because I like to make things easy for myself. So that's the sliders. Right, so when you start out, you don't have anything, you don't have any clothes, you don't have any weapons, any materials or anything. So literally, what you would do, you would literally have to go up to a tree and punch it to get wood. You can't punch stone, so if you want stone, you have to go over to a part of the island that has stones just laying around and pick them all up. And the more you do that, and you can also harvest the plants as well, and the more you do that, the more resources you gather, the more stuff you can make. So if we triangle here, we've got some stone there, and now we can get, oh look, I've got some spoiled meat, that's good. And we can take all of these plants and everything, and then that's how you would then go into your inventory to your craftable items, and then you would go down and make a stone hatchet and a pickaxe are really the things you want to start out with, aside from actually your basic clothes. The more you level up, the better things you can get. So you start off with these little cloth clothes, and then you level up and you can unlock the ability to make hide clothes, which is what I'm wearing now. It's just a bit stronger and keeps you a bit more protected. You can unlock different weapons, different building materials and things like that. So my base that I'm building at the moment is predominantly made of stone, purely because I have a thing about castles. I like castles, so I wanted to make myself a little castle. I thought it would be quite cool. So you start off with your foundation. At the moment I'm just building a wall around the whole place, and then I've got to clear out everything inside it and then build it up properly. So this is the beginning of my wall. It doesn't look like much now, but like I said, these things are time consuming, and stone walls, they take a lot of stone. So I have to keep going and harvesting stone, and it's a long-winded process, but it's okay, you know. It's actually quite fun, especially with the settings set the way that I've set them, because it just makes things a lot quicker and a lot easier. Because usually you would have to punch this tree like so many times just to get anything from it, and with a stone pickaxe or you know, a stone axe, things go so much quicker. I mean, just look at how much you can get from it compared to how much you get when you're punching it. It makes a big difference. So yeah, that's essentially the basics of the game. So you craft whatever it is that you want. So if I'm going for another, well, I need a stone foundation there, so I'll craft that, and I need stone walls to go on it, but I don't have enough stone, so I can go back across the water and pick up some more stone, or I can harvest it from an actual stone, which is always fun because it saves you having to run around and pick up the stones individually, which can be quite time consuming and quite long-winded. So yeah, you could do that. So if we'll go over here and we'll hack this to death, get as much stone as we can, and it disappears. So have we got enough now to make the stone wall? Let's see. Oh, I've lost it now. Yeah, that's another thing you've got to get used to, is finding where they are in your actual inventory, because these little pictures, my TV is quite small, so it can be hard to see it properly. So now we've got to go back to our base and put the newly crafted materials into place. And I'm getting a lot of raw meat, which is good, which means I can make oh, I can't remember what you call it now, a mortar and pestle, that's it. Because I've got to make that and put some raw meat and some narco berries into it. Well, spoiled meat, not raw meat. And then that's how you can make the tranquilizer for the arrows, which you obviously would then use to tame dinosaurs by knocking them out, which is necessary. Yeah. This can be a bit annoying because it's hard to get it in the right place. You can't really see what you're doing very well, and sometimes it kind of just does what it wants. So you see there, it looked like it was in line. There's a little gap. I guess I can go around and fix all of that later. You can see there's a gap there. You know, some of these are lined up perfectly, some of them not so much. But at the moment, I don't really care that much. This isn't going to be my final base anyway. This is just me kind of setting it up to get to grips with the world. So yeah, this is the beginning of my stone fortress, which I'm very excited about. And in a second, I will demonstrate the taming of the dinosaurs. I will put my weapon away because I don't want to kill anything. Narco berries are one of the most important things you can have when you want to tame something, because that's how you make sure that they don't wake up too soon. So I have a dodo already called Toto the dodo, but I'm gonna get another one so Toto can have a friend. Oh no, I killed it. Okay, that's the only trouble. When you level up, if you've got the settings the way that I've got them, you kill things a lot when you don't mean to. So let's find something bigger than a dodo. There's usually something on that island over there, actually. We'll go over there. I had a pteranodon called Terry, but he got in the way while I was harvesting stuff and I accidentally killed him. It was very sad. I mourned his death. We had a funeral and everything. But yeah, let me see what I can find to demonstrate the taming process. There'll be something around here eventually. Some of them tame differently. There are these little guys where you've literally just got to feed it a berry, and then Oh, there's a Triceratops. Okay, I haven't actually tried to tame one of these before, so wish me luck, because it might kill me. Ah, cool, right. He's unconscious. So now what we've got to do, first thing I'm going to put in there is narco berries. Where are my goddamn narco berries? There we go. Right, so I'm going to put those in there, and when his torpor starts getting a little bit lower than I'd like, you just click on it, remote use item, click, and it basically force feeds him these narco berries which keep him knocked out while you do your thing. It might seem a little bit mean, but that is how the game is played. Force feeding a dinosaur narco berries. I don't actually know if Triceratops is a meat eater or a veggie, but he seems to be eating the berries, so that's fine. I'll put some meat in there just in case he does like meat. I'm not sure. I should have checked that beforehand, really. I should know that beforehand, really. What kind of idiot doesn't know that? But my dinosaur knowledge is a little bit less than what it used to be. I've forgotten a lot of stuff. But yeah, so as you can see, the taming bar is going up. As the unconscious bar goes down, you just force feed some more narco berries to keep him unconscious, while the taming bar goes up. As you can see, the taming bar goes up every time he lifts his head to eat berries, which is why you have to have the dino food drain set quite high, because if it's too low, they're not going to eat the berries or the meat or whatever it is that you put in there, and it's just going to take you forever. And no one has that kind of time. This is the taming process. It's pretty simple once you know what to do. If you don't know what you're doing, it can take ages. When I first watched a tutorial, it told me to put like a shit ton of food in there and keep clicking the remote use item. But that is only useful to do with the narco berries themselves. If you're doing it with anything else, it's not going to be worth it, because it won't actually tame the dinosaur. The dinosaur has to eat the food voluntarily, otherwise it just doesn't get tamed. So now if we look at it, the unconscious bar has gone up slightly, the taming bar is still going up. So I'll give him another narco berry just to make sure he doesn't wake up on me, because if he does wake up mid-taming, you basically lose all of the progress that you've made. So all of the food that he's eaten, all of the time that you've sat there, it's all gone, it's wasted. So make sure that they don't wake up. That's probably one of the most important things. And when you're going to do this, make sure you've got a fair amount of food in your inventory so that he doesn't run out of food and then you've got to quickly go and grab some more, because that also elongates the process. See, I've got a shit ton stacked up in my inventory for this particular reason. So I can literally just sit here and wait it out, and eventually I know that I'm going to have my own Triceratops. Now I've just got to think of a punny name for him. Because, you know, Pteranodon called Terry, Toto the Dodo, and this guy here, he's called Peter. No, actually no, he's called Paramore. I have another one called Peter. Peter's at home. Actually, Paramore, you can go away now. I'm going to disable following, because this is how they end up dying. Have I enabled roaming? Yes, I have. Okay. I think I have anyways. No, yeah. So he can wander around, he can do what he likes pretty much, and hopefully it will stop him from getting in my way and getting killed. Once I've got enough set up, I will change the settings so that they're not quite so easy to kill, because it does, you know, I like things to start off easy and then get a little bit harder. I don't like to start off where I feel like the game is impossible to play, because it kind of ruins the fun for me. So yeah, I'm going to give him some more narco berries just to keep him under. And as you can see, he's over halfway tamed. This is good. So I'm going to quickly use this time to level up. So I will usually go for health, stamina, or movement speed, because like I said before, I'm very impatient. So this is the engram part, where basically you use your points to unlock different things. So obviously, yeah, here you can see the mortar and pestle, which you need to make narcotics, which you need to make trank arrows, which are down here somewhere. These ones. And you need that to tranquilize the bigger dinosaurs, because trying to take that out, punching it or whatever, is going to be very long-winded, and I don't really think anyone has the time for that. I'm going to unlock that, because it seems like a good thing to do. I've got 8 left for this one. Don't really know what I would need a wooden catwalk for. Bridging area. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Bridging areas together, so I can make like a cool little structures and stuff. That's the thing, there's a lot to this game. There's a lot of different options available and upgrades and things like that. So you can really have fun with it, you know, play around with what you can make and what you can do. And really, I'm excited about taming and riding the flying dinosaurs. I was riding Paramore, but he's very slow and bumbly, and I thought I can literally run faster than he can. Like, look at this. That's alright, yeah. But on the back of my Parasaur, it was so slow, I was getting bored, so I decided to just get off and run. It was quicker. The thing that I am most excited about is the flying ones. I'm going to take back my narco berries because he doesn't need them now. I'm not eating them, am I? I want to take them back. Okay, yeah, I'm adding them. Cool. Because if you eat the narco berries, you pass out. Well, you have to eat a certain amount, but yeah, you can pass out from eating them. Alright, so now I've got to name my trike. I like to name them silly things based on their names. Let's just call him Spike. You know, from Land Before Time. Not from Buffy, although I did like Buffy as well. So yeah, I've got a trike named Spike. And now I'm gonna enable wandering. And I'm gonna disable following. And look at him go! Hey Spike! Okay, so he's mine now. Yeah, so a couple of warnings. There are certain things you shouldn't eat. You shouldn't eat poop, you shouldn't eat spoiled meat, because it starts to drain your health very, very quickly, and you've got to try and then quickly eat a bunch of other things, a bunch of berries and a bunch of cooked meat as well. Don't eat raw meat, to try and regain your health back so that you don't die. If you don't do it quick enough, you will actually die, which sucks. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of the game. I'll probably make some more videos later on with different things, but yeah, that's the crux of it. Oh, you're not mine. Hopefully Spike's gone home, otherwise I'm gonna have to go and find him at some point. That's the trouble, is I don't know how far they wander when you enable wandering, so I don't know if he's actually gonna come back home. Oh, hello. Let's see if I can get you. Yay! Right, let's put some meat in there, because you like meat. And the rest of my narco berries. And I've got a new Terry!